What's going on, guys? I'm the Walrus Jedi, and as you've seen in the intro, today's episode of Star Wars Alien Species will be on the Barabel. So if you like this species video, then please consider liking and subscribing and hitting the notification bell for more Star Wars Species videos in the future. And in the comment section of this video, you can put down there what the next species you would like to cover would be. First up, I will talk a bit about the planet of the Barabels, Barab 1. Barab 1. This outer rim planet has the unfortunate honor of an arid landscape with craters, lava plains, and steaming seas. But this hellscape wasn't always a harsh place. It was home to rocky badlands and several caves, before the Yuzon Vong came with destruction. The native species is the Barabel, and their language is also called Barabel. They are governed by independent clans, and the population was 1.4 billion, and it was 100% Barabels, but now it is between 1 billion to 10 billion. Major imports are weapons and metal and plasteel goods. Exports are exotic wildlife, mercenaries, Barabel fruit, and Barabor. Barabels are a vicious reptilian race native to the outer rim planet Barab 1, a world of murky darkness in the orbit of a dim red dwarf star. During the day, most living creatures dwell below ground to protect themselves from the intense heat and radiation cast by the red dwarf. When evening arrives, the environment cools enough for the denizens of Barab 1 to go to the surface and hunt. The physique of a Barabel is designed for nocturnal hunting and fighting. Their entire form from head to tail is covered with spiked scales of tough keratin that darken from purple-green to black as they age. These scales not only help camouflage Barabels, but also protect them from heavy blows or low-power blaster fire. This external protection is further insulated by a layer of blubber that helps the species retain heat during the cold nights on Barab 1. Barabels are natural hunters who kill with strength and efficiency. Their mouths are filled with needle-sharp teeth up to 5 centimeters in length, perfect for crushing the bodies of even the toughest skinned prey. Beyond this, they can also use their huge claws for efficiently rending flesh. Since Barabels hunt primarily in the darkness, their eyes possess slit pupils that read the electromagnetic spectrum of light from infrared to yellow. However, they are unable to see green, blue, or violet light, which puts them at a disadvantage on planets with brighter suns. Barabels often work as bounty hunters and mercenaries, channeling their natural love of the hunt into a means of earning credits. They are known for having an explosive temperament, but unlike some other violent races, they value both intelligence and wisdom, often focusing on these traits in order to control their aggressive nature. They can be cooperative to attain a common goal, and they are efficient when working in teams, making them particularly valuable in a military environment. Extremely loyal to their spouses, family members, and hatchmates, Barabels are genuinely loving and gregarious in such a community setting. While they have been known to extend this loyalty to non-Barabels with whom they feel close, outsiders or strangers are more commonly met with belligerence and hostility. Barab 1 orbits the red dwarf Barab at a distance of less than 125 million kilometers. As a result, the planet is scorched during its 6 standard-hour day, exposed to high-intensity ultraviolet gamma and infrared radiation. Water rapidly evaporates from the surface, leaving the world in a humid haze, and most of Barab 1's plant and animal life must live in caves or rock crevices and canyons in order to thrive. Those species that remain out during the day survive by closing up in protective cocoons or possess reflective skin or hair that protects them from the damaging rays. At night, when the heat dissipates, the natives of Barab 1 leave their shelters to feed in a sudden frenzy. They move quickly to avoid a nightly torrential downpour that occurs as a result of the day's water evaporation and the subsequent planetary cooling. This wild cycle of lethargy and feeding has contributed to the largely primitive nature of Barab 1 and its resident Barabels. The world was discovered by an imperial charter called Planetary Safaris, which brought expeditions to Barab 1 to hunt Barabels. Because members of the species are mostly solitary, preferring to roam the surface alone, they were more susceptible to these imperial hunting parties. This also placed them at a disadvantage when the Yuuzhan Vong eventually conquered Barab 1, although on a one-on-one basis they made formidable opponents to the invaders, more so than many other species. Before the Yuuzhan Vong invasion, however, one brilliant Barabel, named Shaka Ka, managed to unite fellow members of her species into armies to destroy planetary safari ships and decimate their hunting parties. The local imperial governor, shocked at the loss of both vessels and tourists, sent a star destroyer to investigate. After learning of the origins of the uprising, the imperial captain Aladar determined Barabels to be a sentient species and gave them the full protection of imperial law. Upon their entrance into the empire, Shaka Ka once again enlisted other Barabels, this time to build what would become the one permanent city and spaceport on their world, Aladar Ka, named for the captain who recognized their sentience. This underground city consists of numerous tunnels and caverns that are interlocked around the central spaceport. Although Aladar Ka remains a crude city with primitive resources, it is not wanting for tourist attention, as an agreement was eventually reached with Planetary Safaris to reinstate expeditions on Barab 1, allowing parties to hunt some of the dangerous resident wildlife, with Barabels now acting as guides. Barab 1 is also a popular haven for galactic criminals, smugglers, pirates, and the like, who are willing to take a chance with the harsh environment in order to escape from law enforcement. After Barab 1 was liberated from imperial rule, the Barabels nearly started a war with an insectoid species known as the Verpine. They briefly made arrangements to sell frozen Verpine body parts to the Kubaz to be eaten as a delicacy. To this day, there remain some tense relations between these two species. Even though Barabels' official history began with their discovery by Planetary Safaris, it is believed that these imperial hunters were not the first galactic visitors to Barab 1. Barabel legend tells of a war that erupted among Barabel factions over prime hunting grounds. Family units, all motivated by common interest, banded together to form two armies that were each bent on the ultimate destruction of their enemies. The final battle was diffused, though, by the arrival of a Jedi Knight who managed to resolve the dispute. The legend speaks highly of the great warrior from beyond the clouds, who prevented them from killing one another. Barabels therefore commonly show Jedi both great reverence and deference. In the years after Palpatine's demise, a stranded Jedi took a Barabel apprentice named Saba Sabatine. An ensuing surprise appearance by Saba Sabatine, who emerged with her own Jedi students and hatchlings to assist during the Yuuzhan Vong War, seems to be hard evidence that the Jedi influence on Barabels was no myth. Other than this tale, though, most Barabels are fairly ignorant of their culture's history, and they seem to prefer to remain that way. They have no inclination to create an overarching civilization, choosing to remain in their small family units and acting as solitary hunters in the Barab 1 night. Although they hold no technology of their own to speak of, those few Barabels who have departed Barab 1 manage to use the technology of other races with great efficiency, and a few are known to have become ace pilots. Frequently, Barabels seen off-world are functioning as bounty hunters, trackers, or mercenaries. Only Barabels who travel to other systems are recognized as capable of speaking or understanding Basic, as those who remain on Barab 1 mainly do not bother to master any language other than Barabel, which consists of hisses, growls, and snarls. While the Yuuzhan Vong saw fit to conquer Barab 1 in their quest to dominate the galaxy, the planet was not destroyed. Many Barabels Masters at stealth managed to go into hiding in caves and underground hovels until the threat had passed. While their numbers diminished, the species managed to survive the slaughter with their wits and tenacity. And the notable appearance for Barabels is in Dark Force Rising, the second book in the Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. Alright, that is a bit about Barabels and their home planet of Barab 1. Let me know if you learned anything new about this species in the comments. And again, if you have any species suggestions for the next video, put that in the comments as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and until next time, thanks for watching.